This review is presented by evdance and The Perfect Glass. The new Audi A5 now also comes as a plug-in hybrid. The A5 e-hybrid now provides the customers with a dynamic drive and a longer range on pure electric. There are two plug-in hybrid alternatives on offer with this A5 that builds on the PPC, the Premium Platform Combustion, a 220 kilowatt with 299 horsepower in total, and a 270 kilowatt with 367 horsepower. The engine is a 2-liter TFSI 4-cylinder which provides 252 horsepower. This new e-hybrid delivers immediate effect and it does 0 to 100 km an hour in 5.9 seconds or 5.1 seconds and has a top speed of 250 km an hour. Fuel consumption combined is 2.7 to 2.1 liters per 100 kilometers. Power consumption combined is 15.9 to 15.1 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. Combined consumption on discharged battery 7.4 to 6.5 liters per 100 kilometers. And that goes for the 270 kilowatt version and a little less in the 220 kilowatt version. The new high-voltage battery has gained 45% compared to the battery in the earlier battery in the A6 TFSI-E and now has 25.9 kilowatt hours. Updated charge on an AC is 11 kilowatts and the charging time is 2.5 hours from 0 to 100%. Audi is pursuing a new approach with a cell-to-pack. That means that the cells are no longer placed in a battery module, but are glued directly into the battery housing. This provides higher energy density of the HV system and at the same time it takes up less space. A much more improved regenerative system with better thrust in EV through the use of paddles on the steering wheel. Optimized interaction between the mechanical friction brake and energy recovery via the electric motor has also increased regenerative braking performance. When the brake paddle is depressed during deceleration, the A5 Avant e-hybrid quattro and the A5 Sedan e-hybrid quattro can recover up to 88 kilowatts of power and feed it into the HV battery. The hybrid management of the new models is designed for efficiency, flexibility, and maximum customer comfort and automatically selects the optimal operating strategy. The electric drive is provided by a permanently excited synchronous motor with a peak output of 105 kilowatts. The electric motor is integrated into the housing of the 7-speed S-Tronic. A5 comes with a high level of standard equipment like progressive steering, navigation, MMI, panoramic display, and induction charging for your phone. Trunk space for the sedan is 331 liters and the Avant 361 liters. Extra is the Tech Pro package trim that includes matrix LED lights, digital OLED rear lights, MMI front passenger display, parking system plus, proactive occupant protection with an interaction airbag, 3-zone deluxe auto air conditioning, the S-Sport suspension with damper control, and more. Interior package with leather and artificial leather combo, sport seats, wraparound interior elements, contrasting stitching, among a lot more. Pricing for the e-hybrid quattro sedan with a base power starts at 62,500 euros. The Avant 64,150 euros. The more powerful sedan starts from 70,900 euros and Avant from 72,500 euros. So we're up and running in the new A5 plug-in hybrid. First off, every time you step into an Audi, you're just familiar with the ambience, the feeling, the graphics, the tactile feel, and it just feels very roomy, very spacious. I just love the seats. They have this firmness, but still a very comforting and perfectly carved out shape. Sometimes I want to feel like, am I sitting good in the base seat? Is it wide enough? How much can you spread your legs until you feel that you reach the side bolsters? But in this one, it's just perfect. Keeps you in place, and it also lets you maneuver about a little and move about, and that's just fine. And another thing that is very important to me, and I think to many others, which you might not always reflect over, that's the steering wheel and what a steering wheel gives you. I always like light and thin steering wheels. There are so many ways that different drivers hold the steering wheel, and sometimes it might not be the most secure way of holding it, but in this one it really invites you to getting the grip perfect, 2:45 or 9:15. Just love it, and you get a very good grip. The feeling in these buttons, I've said it, in the A6, they are rather tactile. I think they were a bit more tactile before, but they're there, and after a little while, they're just there on your command. but they feel a little more plastic than before, but they're just fine. They're not haptic or semi-haptic in any way. They have their distinct click to them. So I like it. It's clean, it's clear, the information is there in Audi fashion, and I just think it's very easy to read out. The graphics are just so sharp. This big navigation screen here gives you all this perfect information, and it's also very, very crystal clear. It is rather quick, and as you maneuver about, you get these symbols that, you know, there's not that much fuzziness going on. There's not that many colors. It's very straightforward, but you well, you get familiarized with it after a while. But I think it's really good. One thing maybe, but that is also something that you get used to, is this big screen as it, you know, runs along here. It gets a little covered by the right side of the steering wheel here, so you might need to, you know, pop your head out to see what type of a symbol you want to push here, but that's not such a big deal. You know where it is after a while. In this one, we got the side screen for the passenger, so you can watch YouTube, you can see the navigation, you can see the consumption. And so we're running on 20-inch rims on this one. It looks really good, of course, but are you for the aesthetics or are you for the comfort? Because this car, even though we're driving on very smooth roads, of course, and we have 20-inch, it's very quiet, it's very smooth, and you get real good contact. The feeling and the rapidness of the steering is just there. You want connection, you want that sporty feel, but you want that comfort level at the same time. But then you really need to choose, what do you want? Do you want some comfort? And I always want comfort, because a car like this is for the family. And well, do you want to drive fast? Do you want to have a bit sporty ride? Because it got some punch. Because it's got some punch. And I mean, it is sporty. This one with the 299 horsepower does 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 5.9 seconds. And I mean, that is quick. So you can have a lot of fun. You can also go for the more powerful one, the 367 horsepower. And then you're down at 5.1 seconds. I mean, that's a racer for the family. And that might be a bit more suited for bigger rims, better grip, and a bit more style. But this one, I would go for the 18 or 19-inch wheels, have a bit more rubber on it, and you know, you're better off with a lot more comfort. You got different drive modes here. You push the drive select, you got efficiency, you got comfort, dynamic, and balanced. So different drive modes here. Sometimes I think it's too much. You just have normal or sport, or, you know, efficiency should be almost combined in a car like this with normal drive, and then you just push sport. There are so many different levels of driving ambitions in cars nowadays that you can choose between. But in efficiency, this one is smart because it's got a predictive way of reading out your driving pattern, and also when you put it into the navigation, it can sense what type of undulation it is, well, if it's uphill, if it's motorway, if you're in different green zones in the city, and then it adapts, and then that electric drive, you know, kicks in. So that system is very, very smart. I mean, if you have your daily routes or something, it will memorize that as well, and you know, it will brake at the best situation to really get the recuperation as optimal as it can. That is smart. Now we have it set for Ingolstadt. We're on the way there. We've been driving on the motorway. Now we're driving on some country roads, and we drive through some smaller towns. Yeah. And it reads that out for the best efficient drive. Well, I just activated the sport mode, and it becomes very sporty. I mean, just slowing down, and then it gears down. So in sport mode, well, then you can maneuver your gears in the way that suits you best. So you have a bit more freedom there. You got the paddles here on the back. If you drive in efficiency, then you can set the recoup in different stages. And when you drive straight on a normal road, well, then it's more or less, you know, front wheel driven. But as it starts to become a bit more dynamic in the bends, well, then the four-wheel drive system kicks in a bit more for a bit better grip. And of course, if you want to set your individual parameters, then you just get into balanced, and there you can set, you know, the engine for a bit more sporty ride, or the suspension for a bit smoother one. So your preference is there as well. So you have an electric range of up to 110 kilometers. I mean, that is good. This has also been updated. Now you can charge it at home at 11 kilowatts. So, 2.5 hours and you're set. There's no fast charging in this one. And I think that's rather good, because what do you do with your plug-in hybrid? Well, you do your daily commutes, and you don't go on longer trips and fast charging it, because it's not that effective. Even though I find it quite appealing with some fast charging on plug-in hybrids when they have a bit longer range. But this is just fine enough. Evdance is your #1 go-to online store for EV chargers. Now you can get the one that suits you best at 20% discount when using the code EVD-WHAT-CAR. Check out the links in the video description. Really like the feel in the brakes. They're really there, and you don't feel that there is no sponginess or any, like a gap between the real brake and where it recoups. So the feeling is just splendid. When you drive a lot of plug-in hybrids and even electric cars, there might be some mushy feel to the brakes. You don't really know where the regenerative feel comes in or where the real brake feel comes in. But in this one, I think it's just perfect. The same goes for the Audi A6. Love that as well. 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 5.9 seconds. Let's just feel how it feels. And there's a nice sporty tone to it as well. Rather racy, rather nice. I like that. That 4-cylinder engine that plays long. Nice. So it's quick. I mean, off the line. Really, really quick. You don't need that much more power than that. That does it for me. But still very undramatic, very smooth. Nothing that makes you feel like it's a bit, juddery in any way. Like it, there's some presence to the engine at the same time that it is very smooth. So pushing it a bit feels a little more alive. And I think that is important, because this much power, it should be there for some purpose as well. I mean, when you need to overtake, you need that power, starting off the line, keeping the pace. That is important. And I mean, it all comes together in a way of having a sporty car at the same time that it is very smooth, very comfortable, very quiet, and that it has good range. So it plays on a lot of points here, this one. I like it. I mean, the feeling in the steering and that direct input, great with the feeling of the brakes. I like it. You can plan it wherever you want. But I still like how rapid it is when you just accelerate off the line. It is really, really quick there. So it's rather strong. It's not like it comes to a complete halt in a more powerful way, but the recoup is good. You can feel that. There is a very initial boost when you accelerate, which I just love. It's not like it takes some time. It just slingshots a little off the line. You got the double clutch gearbox in it. You can see how the power moves on this meter here. And I mean, it picks up speed fairly well, this one. But it feels very connected. I really like the steering feel. It's very initial. It's very pointy in some way. So it feels Audi. They're always sharp. Their driving dynamics, which I just like. Let's see what it feels in a bit higher pace. It's very sharp. You can feel the whole body control of the car just lines in well. You don't upset it any. And especially when you have a bit bigger wheels. Look at this little piece of road. This is beautiful. A little wet patch here. Rather strong uphill as well. It's quick, and it's very quick on the throttle input, and I also like that little extra type of roary feel that the engine has. Listen to that. Really, really nice. Oh, you can plant this one fairly good. It's nice. I like it. It's just like the A6, also very predictable. Don't really feel that you upset the chassis in any way. It's just there. So a very smooth ride, very undramatic, just safe. You need to provoke it rather hard before it starts to understeer. And of course, all that comes down to big grippy tires as well, which it has. And just the feeling of the brakes. You can just nudge them, and you can get in, nudge them, and then you get in again. It's just there. Very, very nice. Audi has that sporty feel to them. Every time, they never disappoint. And I like that. And if you want to recoup, well, you can recoup all the way up to 75%. So you can set that energy consumption. You push that, then you get EV or you get hybrid, and you get this hybrid assistant. So you can set how much battery level you want it to recharge back up to. So 75%. But what I like is that they look different. So if you look at the design, sure, it looks nice as a estate, but to me, I always like sedans. I just think that they are so delicate, they're so elegant, and the sedan in this one is really, really elegant. It's striking. It's got some strong, nice lines to it, both from the back, from the front, and in profile. So I think that looks good. And also when you drive it, you're more cocooned in some way. You feel a bit more luxurious. But the Avant is more for the practical one. You want that space. You want to cram in a lot more stuff. It's just what it is.